All right, good evening, everybody. Today we're going to be doing the practice and problem solving for multiplying integers. I will do all the odd ones, so I'll start with number 9. Number 9 says we're going to multiply -6 to -2. Before we start, let's go over roughly all the rules for multiplying integers. Remember that a positive times a positive is going to equal a positive. And a negative times a negative will equal a positive as well, positive numbers. But any positive number times a negative number, or a negative number times a positive number, will equal negative answers. Okay? So the rules is if the signs are the same, you'll get a positive answer. If the signs are different, you'll get a negative one. Here we have two negative numbers being multiplied together. So as the rules state, negative times a negative will be a positive, and 6 times 2 is 12. So the answer is 12. All right, next we have 11. That's 7 times -5. Well, that's a positive number times a negative number. Positive times a negative equals a negative answer. And 7 times 5 equals 35. So our answer is -35. Number 13 states have -1 times -24. That's a negative times a negative, so that will equal a positive answer. And 1 times 24, of course, is 24. Number 15 says a football team lost the same number of yards on each of 3 consecutive plays. What is the total change in yards from where the team started? Well, they say they lost the same number of yards on each of the 3 consecutive plays, and we need to know what is the total change in yards from where the team started. To do this problem, I had to go find the picture that was in your book and paste it on here, and that way it makes more sense, because we really didn't know by looking at the question exactly how many yards that they lost each time. But as you see, the picture states we have 6 yards, 6 yards, and 6 yards. So that means they lost the same number of yards. That was 6 yards each time, 3 consecutive plays. So that means we have, let's see, they said since we lost it, it's -6, and 3 consecutive plays, that's going to be times 3. We have a positive times a negative number, that's going to be -18. All right, let's scroll down here to number 17. It says Alex is working to simplify 5 times -8 times 2. All right, to do this, we have to go ahead and use our rules again. 5 times -8 is going to give us, 5 times 8 is 40. And we have a positive times a negative, so that'd be -40. And so now we have -40 times 2. Once again, we have a negative number times a positive number. So that's going to go ahead and give us a negative answer, and 40 times 2 is 80. So the product of 5 times -8 times 2 is -80. So suppose Alex found the opposite of the correct product. Well, the opposite of -80 would be 80. Describe an error he could have made that resulted in it. Well, I'm going to go with he may have forgotten to put the negative sign in front of his answer. All right. That's the best I can come up with on that one. Next, we're going towards number 19. It says, make sense and preserve. While playing a board game, Celia had to move back 6 spaces 9 times. What integer represents Celia's movement on the board for those 9 turns? Well, if you move back 6 places, that's a -6. And since it's 9 times, you're multiplying negative 6 times positive 9. Well, negative times a positive will give us a negative answer, and 6 times 9 is 54. So I would have to say our answer is going to be negative 54. All right, I've done all of the odd ones. It's on you to do the even ones. Good luck, and I'll see you in class.